People like to have fun during the holidays. You know what's not fun? Returning an ugly sweater. Don't give anyone an ugly sweater this year. Give choice gift cards from giftcards.com instead, and they can pick their own sweater from some of their favorite brands. It's genius.
Your favorite things feel made for you. Your education should too. University of Maryland Global Campus, formerly University of Maryland University College, was made to serve the military and working adults like you. Today, we continue that tradition by offering frequent start dates so you can get started with convenient online learning that fits your schedule, by recognizing your accomplishments with credits you can earn for what you know, by providing no-cost online resources replacing most textbooks because a college education can fit your budget too, and with no SAT or GRE required for most programs. University of Maryland Global Campus, made for you. Last year, we awarded more than $15 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults just like you. Discover how we can make your education and your goals for the future a reality. Visit us at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Football represents something we are.
Football is like life. You gotta push.
Fantasy football is about proving that you are better than your friends.
Hold up.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Face-Off.
I'm gonna do what's best for the team.
Where fantasy meets reality.
Pure fantasy football nirvana.
And now your hosts.
Let the games begin.
Anthony Servino and Michael Hoff.
And what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the FF Face-Off. I am your host, Anthony Servino. Follow me on Twitter at The Real NFL Guru. Follow the show at the FF Face-Off. We can be found at all the top social media podcast platforms. We're here for a very strange Week 9 recap and reaction show. And with me, Steve D'Angelo at Fantasy Savvy. Steve, what is going on after this very strange, I can't say it enough, strange Week 9?
Man, I thought Halloween Sunday was a horror show. This was almost even worse. I thought we were done. I thought I was on to fresh new beginnings, and I was still alive in my survivor pools, and now I'm completely out after the Bills lose, after the 49ers lose with all those. I don't know why I backed Kyle Shanahan, and also Dallas losing, which was another shocker.
That killed me. Obviously, I was a Cowboys fan. That really, really killed me. But I don't know. Let's start with Kyle Shanahan. Let's start there, because I'm not a Kyle Shanahan guy, and Kyle Shanahan gets all the hype in the world, and it's like he walks on water, and I don't really understand it. Clearly, obviously everything went right one year. He went to the Super Bowl, and he's had a lot of injuries and bad luck since, but other teams also have injuries. How about the Tennessee Titans losing the best running back in the NFL, their team MVP, a runner for the league MVP, and they don't skip a beat, take care of business on the road. So I don't want to hear nothing about injuries. Kyle Shanahan, in fact, the 49ers were the healthiest they've been in a long time. You got Kittle back. You got your running backs back. Brandon Ayuk looks competent. So I don't want to hear anything about injuries. I don't want to hear any excuses. The Arizona Cardinals took care of business. They even lost not only no Kyler, no DeAndre Hopkins. I'm pretty sure A.J. Green did not play. You lose Chase Edmonds early on in the game, and it became the James Conner show.
Oh, my God. I mean, James Conner, they were literally just throwing him screen after screen. There was no defense to be found. They let Colt McCoy run for like 20 yards on them. He escaped a couple sacks. He was just dinking and dunking his way down the field. I mean, Ayuk fumbled, Kittle fumbled. That definitely killed him. They had two terrible personal foul penalties that also gave the Cardinals a break. I think they scored on both of those drives. But, I mean, you're at home without Murray, without Hopkins, without A.J. Green. Like you said, Edmonds got hurt. You got to get that win. I mean, that is awful. You're pretty healthy overall. Freaking the running game, only 8 carries for 36 yards for Mitchell. I mean, they didn't use Jeff Wilson at all. He came back this week. Still, Trey Sermon's inactive. Still don't want to touch him. I've never seen the 49ers not use 2 backs or 3 backs. They just use Mitchell. That's it. I don't know what
they
what
only
he's doing.
listen. Game script. They had 11 total carries, and that was purely game script. Meanwhile, Colt McCoy, 22 of 26. 249, a touchdown, no picks, took 2 sacks. Christian Kirk threw a 33-yard strike. Connor, obviously the MVP of the game. Christian Kirk steps up, never really operated as a wide receiver one, needed a lot of help around him, but looks like he took another step up in his career. And the Cardinals defense, they were pretty much lights out. So hats off to the Cardinals. They have to be the best team in the NFL right now. Despite losing to Green Bay last week, every team, and we saw it this week, like if we're going to give the Bills, the Cowboys, and who was the other team and the Rams, if we're going to give them mulligans, the Cardinals had theirs last week.
Yeah, I don't know if I could say anybody's the best team in the NFL, but they're definitely, they're winning games they're supposed to at least. And their defense definitely played well. They did a good job. And good news for, George Kittle owners. He came back, had a nice game, 6 catches, 100 yards and a touchdown. He looked good out there. He's back.
Wait, surprise, Kyle. Brandon Ayuk can play football. Shocker.
Right. Oh, my God. It's like in fantasy, when people in their underwear at home know more than you about certain players, and you got to question things.
Like, are you give me a break. Kyle Shanahan, at what point does Kyle Shanahan need to go?
It's close, man. I mean, this could be it. I mean, maybe he gets one more year after.
Well, no, they have to give him a shot with Lance. But like, what if? Because Lance was supposed to be the answer. They had Mac Jones, who looks like the best rookie quarterback in this class, and I was all in on. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I have Trevor Lawrence ranked ahead of Mac Jones, but Mac Jones was my number 2 rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
And you can go back to past shows, anybody listening. I was well on the bandwagon of the 49ers drafting because we knew Wilson where he was going. But I was all on board with the 49ers drafting Mac Jones.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, you definitely back Mac Jones. He's definitely outperformed a lot of expectations so far. But all these rookie quarterbacks, it's tough to say who really is going to be the best one. They're all kind of showing flashes at times. And they've all kind of taken step backs at times. But your boy Mac Jones, though, that dirty play, that was a little controversial against Burns.
Listen,
what do you think of that?
He's a Patriot. Get used to it, Mac. You're a Patriot. You're going to win the way you win.
It was like a freaking wrestling movie, like ripped his ankle at the end.
A couple of questions in the chat. MSP Sports Hall saying, what's up? Hoseman74 saying, what's going on? Is it safe to drop Chuba Hubbard after this week or keep him around just in case? Let me start here. Not only was Chuba Hubbard out-touched by CMC 18-4, but Chuba Hubbard was also out-touched by Amir Abdullah, I believe 5-4. And then today, the Panthers moved on from Royce Freeman. So I think you can keep Hubbard around because we have seen Christian McCaffrey re-injure himself very quickly. But I think his standalone value shot.
Yeah, standalone is completely gone if CMC's around. Maybe you wait another week or two, if something with CMC's hamstring pops back up. But, after that, I would, unless you have room, you need to make a move, then maybe you drop him. Unless you're a CMC owner, you maybe want to keep him as a handcuff. But, you could definitely release him soon.
Fletcher Cox in the chat. Should he trade Keenan Allen and Kirk Cousins for Calvin Ridley, Herbert, and Waddle? I'm going to, is number one, like Ridley, he's out a minimum of, I think, 3 weeks. But who knows if he's even going to come back. If this is Dynasty, if it's Dynasty, you slam dunk make the move getting Herbert, Waddle, and Calvin Ridley. Even not in Dynasty, actually. If this is, now, if we're talking about, if this isn't Khalil Herbert, because I'm assuming with Kirk Cousins in the deal, I'm assuming this is going to be Justin Herbert, Calvin Ridley, Justin Herbert, and Waddle for Keenan Allen and Kirk Cousins, you do that and don't blink if you're getting the Herbert side. Now, if it's Khalil Herbert, punt it. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But like that is such a lopsided deal, even without Calvin Ridley. Keenan Allen and Kirk Cousins for Herbert and Waddle, that's a slam dunk. And he's smart because Keenan Allen shredded. And Eagles
for
secondary
dynasty though, not for redraft.
Even in redraft, that's a slam dunk. I would take. So? I would take.
Oh, you think you're getting Justin Herbert?
Yeah.
Or you think it's Khalil?
If it's Khalil Herbert, forget about it. But if it's Justin Herbert, like Keenan Allen, you're selling high because he shred. And this was expected. Like, as good as the Eagles secondary has been, Darius Slay, who's injured, pretty much locked up Mike Williams, but Maddox in the slot was completely, sliced and diced. And we should have saw this coming. But yeah, you're going to sell Keenan Allen high.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you on that. If you're getting Justin Herbert, definitely an upgrade. You get Waddle, Keenan Allen's. I mean, I think
he's saying it's not dynasty, and Calvin
Justin
Ridley.
Herbert?
Yeah, it's Justin Herbert and Waddle for Allen and Cousins, and he's also getting Calvin Ridley as a just in case. That's a slam dunk.
Yeah,
like Waddle has been outstanding this year, and he's really all they have.
Yeah, and Parker's back on the IR.
Mm-hmm.
Fuller's still not back. He's not expected. They still haven't activated him
he's not
either. So
back.
It's basically Waddle and Gesicki.
I love that move. We both love that move. We have Tech on YouTube. He has finessed his league. He has Burrow, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, David Montgomery, Najee Harris, Derrick Henry, George Kittle, and Cousins. You definitely did shove it up your league's ass. Like that's that's not a finesse move. That's you just stuck it up their ass. And I'm all for it. Listen, like it takes two to tango. I'm not about vetoing trades as long as you're not. I'm against collusion, but like if the other guy is willing to say yes, then it's a fair deal.
Right.
I was in
it's tough to prove collusion too, but what are you gonna do?
I used to be in the car business for like 10 years, sales and that kind of stuff. Right. And I remember I had a lot of smart people, and this guy was from Spain, very wise guy. And he would, I said, don't you feel bad? I used the word ripping people off, and I was young. I was new. I wasn't in my 10th year in the car business. And he told me the story. He's like, if I have a rock, and this was was very prophetic. If I sell you this rock that you can go pick up off the ground for free for $5, and you're happy because you got this rock, and I'm happy because I got your $5. Is it a fair deal? Everybody's happy. I said, yes. He said, okay. And that's kind of how I see trades and deals. If both sides are happy.
Right.
And
that's true.
That's fair.
That's a good point. Yeah. They're happy for now, a couple weeks after, and maybe not so much, but
can't worry about that. And Tech is also saying he can only upgrade at wide receiver. He could trade Tim Patrick and he traded Tim Patrick and some junk for Najee Harris. What league are you playing in that somebody would even and some junk?
What was this? What was the some junk?
What was the some junk? I don't know. I mean, Tim Patrick would be considered some junk in a lot of fantasy football leagues.
Yeah, good game for him this week.
Yeah, shredded my Cowboys up.
Yeah, they had a tough time with those receivers this week.
And it's a 12-person league. So congratulations on your early championship. But speaking of that, as a Cowboys fan, and if you're a fan of the Cardinals, Cowboys, Bills, Rams, right? And even the Green Bay Packers without Aaron Rodgers. If your team is going to have a game the way we've seen the Cardinals last week and like the Bills and the Cowboys and Rams and Packers this week, if you're going to have that game where nobody shows up, it's better it happens in week 9 or 10 than in January.
Yeah. And it's the NFL. I mean, it's any given Sunday. It's just like the NBA you see in baseball. It's more, it's much louder in the NFL because there's only 16 games. There's one game a week, but it happens in every sport. These teams, there's talent everywhere, and you're going to see big upsets. That's why these survivor pools are so freaking hard year to year.
The talent pool, and this is why I love the NFL and the free agency and the salary cap, because the difference between teams is so minimal.
Right. Exactly. Especially in the NFL,
Let's go to the Kansas City Chiefs game. Because if Jordan Love was competent at all, the Packers would have won. And we know Jordan Love's not it. And we never should have expected Jordan Love to be it. But this is a bigger testament to the Kansas City Chiefs. There's something going on in Kansas City, and I think I've told you, and I've said it on the show many times, I took a lot of heat, it was right after the Super Bowl when I said there are no guarantees Patrick Mahomes wins another Super Bowl, and whether it was on the show, on Twitter, or just talking to people I know. In person, they looked at me like I had 6 heads. And it's like, do you not forget Russell Wilson? When was the last time he's won one? When was the last time he's been there? Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Same thing with Drew Brees. Like, it's like that easy. And yes, I get Patrick Mahomes is next level and the weapons. Well, the weapons are getting older. And the depth behind those weapons are not that good. And you missed on your running back, on Clyde Edwards-Helaire and a strong running. Like, what if that was Jonathan Taylor? Right. And I also think about, the defense is getting worse, not better. And
well, I don't know. The defense has been pretty good the past couple weeks, at least, though.
How about Andy? Like this isn't the first time Andy Reid has brought a team to several NFC championship games. When he was with the Eagles with Donovan McNabb, he made 4 straight championship games. Like, this isn't new territory for Andy Reid. He's a really good coach.
Yeah, I think it's such a shocker because the Chiefs were on such a roll for so long, and Mahomes was just killing it every single game. You could just dice it up that he's going to throw 3-4 touchdowns. I mean, ever since he pretty much came into the league. So these last couple of weeks, we really don't know how to react. They're playing that too deep. They're taking away Hill. Hill hasn't done much. Everything's been underneath for him. You're seeing Mahomes' average 4.5 yards. That's crazy for him. And he barely, he was almost 50% completion percentage yesterday too. And again, just 1 touchdown. So, the defenses have definitely figured something out, and the Chiefs still haven't adjusted. Their running game, it's Darrell Williams. They tried to get it going, 19 carries for 70 yards, but just 3.7 yards per carry. So they couldn't get that going. So they're going to need to make an adjustment. But, props to their defense at least. It is Jordan Love, but at least they held him to 7 points. He is terrible, though. He definitely didn't look good at all.
We have where are we in the chat? Okay, a couple of questions. Let's see. He traded, so back to text trade for Najee Harris. It was AJ Green and Tim Patrick.
Oh wow. Jeez, killed that one.
Hoseman 74. He has Julio Jones on IR. He needs to drop one to make room. Marvin Jones, Tony, or is Julio even worth keeping at the moment? Honestly, I don't know if Julio Jones is worth keeping at the moment.
Did he go on the IR, Julio Jones?
Well, I guess on IR spots, you can, certain leagues, you could put an injured player on IR.
Oh,
you can,
okay.
Because
he played. He played yesterday.
Yeah, really, you should have. Your roster should be disqualified for this week, but I guess you probably need to drop somebody now. If anybody, I mean, I don't even know if Julio's rosterable. What the hell has he done? And I have a ton of Julio Jones, and I'm like, what do I do with this guy?
Yeah, I mean, it may change up going forward. There's no more Henry. I mean, it was just one game, and they still controlled. They were ahead pretty much all game, so they still could kind of run a little bit. But Julio may pop off in the future. I mean, we saw Jeff Swaim actually get into the mix a little bit as a tight end. He looks like their leading tight end. So if you're in a tight end premium league, he actually looks like a pretty good pickup. He's led the tight ends in routes last 2 weeks.
No, Swaim came from Dallas. He was initially supposed to be Witten's replacement. And then I think he got hurt, and then Jarwin flashed, and they played musical chairs, and now Dalton Schultz seems to be the guy. Right. But Kadarius Toney hasn't really done, are we dropping Toney? Are we dropping Julio?
No, I wouldn't drop Toney. I mean,
you can't drop Marvin.
Yeah. So he has to drop one of those 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Who's he trying to pick up?
Well, he has Julio on the IR list, and obviously, his roster is going to be disqualified.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, you got away with that somehow. I think in Yahoo, if you don't make a pickup, you're allowed to keep the guy on IR. That's what it is. I think that's what they let you do. I guess. I don't know. I mean, that's tough.
Was
man.
Toney hurt
I have
yesterday?
No idea. He just got one target. I think he got one target all game.
Yeah.
I mean, Galladay. I think Galladay, Slayton, and Tony
Galladay's
combined.
back.
It was like 3 catches for like 37 yards combined, and they still won the game. Ingram had a good day. Booker had a good day. The defense had a pick 6. So
who are we dropping?
I don't know. I have no idea. What do you think?
I think it's Tony or Julio. I want to keep Marvin because Marvin's, he could. We've seen Marvin pop this year with Lawrence, and they really don't have much else. Like Arnold got a bunch of targets at tight end, but like Julio Jones this year, his most productive day was week 2, 18.8 PPR points. Every other game inside the single digits, and last night, in theory, was a smash spot. And only 7.5 points, 4 caught all 4 of his targets.
Yeah,
but
he's not doing much. Hasn't looked great this year. The only thing you could say is maybe when Galladay's back, Saquon's coming back. Shepard maybe come back in a couple weeks. There's still Slayton there. Ingram's stepping up now. Tony, if they're only going to give him 1 target, he's not really being featured. Maybe he's the guy you release. I mean, I hate to do it. The guy looks great when he's out there, but it's kind of a tough choice.
It's Tony or Julio.
I mean, I personally would try to keep Tony some way, somehow. But I mean, if that's who you gotta go.
If you have any other players, like give us a list, and we'll try to see if there's anybody else worth dropping. But right now, it's Tony or Julio. Let's see. Now, Fletcher has a follow-up to his earlier question. He's saying, are we sure? Because, listen, yes, and this is the Calvin Ridley one. Calvin Ridley might not play again this year, but you're trading Keenan Allen and Kirk Cousins for Herbert. You're getting a massive upgrade at quarterback. And, is there that much of a difference between Keenan Allen and Waddle? Outside of yesterday, what the hell is Waddle? I mean, what has Keenan Allen done? And
they're kind of doing the same,
right?
They're both getting a lot of targets, getting a lot of yards. They're not really scoring touchdowns, so they're kind of similar.
Yeah,
and you get like you said, you get the upgrade with Herbert. He's got a nice playoff schedule. I'm a Herbert owner. I know that. And you get Ridley. I mean, maybe you get him back in 4 weeks, and then you got freaking Calvin Ridley.
And he's 4-5. The person that's going to listen, like Keenan Allen isn't going to lead you into the postseason in the fantasy. Justin Herbert can.
Right. Yeah, and he's got it. He played great yesterday. Bounced back from those 2 kind of off games. And then he has a nice schedule going forward. And Kirk Cousins, you never know. You could start him in your fantasy playoffs, and he has freaking
Philly on the road for Justin Herbert to do what he did in Philly on the road. It's a testament to who Justin Herbert is, and Jalen Waddle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games inside with double-digit PPR points out of 9. Not bad for a rookie.
Yeah, he's been pretty steady all year, and again, the injuries are piling up still, so he's gonna be featured there.
5 of those 6 games over 15. So we had the one with 10.8, and then the other 5 games in the double digits over 15. He's had 1 back-to-back games. Well, let's see, 4 straight games with 8 targets, 3 of those games with 10+, and he has had 4 games with 10+. On a team like the Dolphins, they're going to throw a lot. There's really no other option, whether it's Tua or Jacoby Brissett. Like when Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback, Waddle's especially targeted, and he also gets peppered with Tua. So, yeah, that's a slam dunk.
Yep. Yeah, I like it.
Let's see. MSP Sports Hall. How much longer until we see Jalen Herbert gets benched for Minshew? And who would benefit more, Goddard or Smith? Listen, I don't believe Jalen Hurts should be benched. However, I do think it's going to happen because it's the quarterbacks and head coaches get blamed first, then the general manager in the offseason. And, this isn't Jalen Hurts' fault. Jalen Hurts has been really productive for what he's had to work with. Howie Roseman did a terrible job after that Super Bowl managing veteran contracts. People don't realize that team had Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey for up until this offseason. What the hell have they done? And they had large contracts. They mismanaged. And that's all on Howie Roseman. So Philly's rebuilding. And if you look at Jalen Hurts, He's had 18 fantasy points in every game but last week against Detroit, and he was game scripted out. Every other game from weeks 1 to 7, over 23.
Yeah, I think he was the number 5 quarterback coming in. But I like the way he was throwing downfield, and he was hitting Smith and
Against
he was
the
throwing
Chargers and that secondary.
Well, they were a little banged up in the secondary. I think Samuel was out, but still, he was still throwing deep, 9.5 yards per throw. He was 11 of 17, just 162. But I liked how he was hitting Smith deep, and that could be a good connection because, we really haven't seen them flow too much. I mean, early on in the year, and then they kind of really fell out. But the past couple of weeks, we saw it this week. So I like that 5 for 116 for Smith, and he got in the end zone as well. So nice game for him. So I think that was a good sign. I think Hurts and that Smith combo could be nice going forward. And I don't think they should bench him. I think they should just ride him out. I mean, he's killing it in the rushing game. Another 62 yards on the ground. He's extending drives. They almost won the game. They lost by a field goal. Right. They scored on that last drive, and then the freaking Chargers got the field goal to win the game. So I mean, what the hell? In the event that there is a benching for Minshew, I think Devonta Smith would benefit more than Goddard, but really Goddard's the number 2 in the rotation anyway. I don't know why they would do it though. Hurts is better than Minshew to me. He's quick and he's a faster runner. He's got a spark. Faster runner. He's got a better arm. They do it for a spark. Careful. You got to be careful though. I mean, like maybe if Hurts is really struggling and they got a chance at a wild card spot or something, maybe they pull him. I don't know, but I just don't see it. Well, pulling up the playoff picture as we stand, we're in a world, Steve, where the Atlanta Falcons are the 7 seed. Wow. Philly's 3-6. They're 1 win away. The Falcons are what? They're 4-4. Philly is 3-6, so like you can make the case like they're like 1 win away from Carolina. As bad as they've been, they're 1 game out. They're the 8th seed. Carolina, that's crazy. And the Seahawks are the 10 seed, and they're getting Russ back. The 49ers, the Bears are all like Yeah, it's wide open still. That's good news for the Falcons. The longer they stay in it, maybe Ridley wants to come back. So. The Patriots, the Steelers, the Raiders, and the AFC are all in the playoffs if it ended today. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, the Browns, the outside looking in. Wow, that's crazy. Good bounce back spot for the Browns though. Baker bounced back. That was a good win for them. And the Bengals now they lose to the Jets and then they look like shit against the freaking Browns.
Your favorite things feel made for you. Your education should too. University of Maryland Global Campus, formerly University of Maryland University College, was made to serve the military and working adults like you. Today, we continue that tradition by offering frequent start dates so you can get started with convenient online learning that fits your schedule, by recognizing your accomplishments with credits you can earn for what you know, by providing no-cost online resources replacing most textbooks because a college education can fit your budget too, and with no SAT or GRE required for most programs. University of Maryland Global Campus, made for you. Last year, we awarded more than $15 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults just like you. Discover how we can make your education and your goals for the future a reality. Visit us at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Hoseman is back. Oh, actually, we have a question from Fletcher about this trade again. Keenan Allen and Kirk Cousins for Kyler Murray and Michael Pittman. I like that more than the Herbert one, because Pittman is a massive upgrade over Keenan. To me, like I would say a massive upgrade over Keenan Allen at this point. Like Michael Pittman's operating as a top 12 PPR receiver in fantasy right now, consistent every week, the de facto number 1 on his team. There is no Mike Williams threatening him, and we know what a healthy Kyler Murray is capable of. He's, I put him a slightly above Herbert. That's a slam dunk.
Yeah, I like either one, but if you can get Pittman, you're going to get those touchdowns compared to Allen and Waddle.
Yeah.
Pittman's like scoring every week now. Wentz is really playing well this year.
Wentz
The
the
offensive
QB
line,
10.
the offensive line is the key there. They're protecting him. Taylor's running the ball well. The Colts look good. Pittman's been nice. He's showing his big frame, getting in the end zone. So I'd take either trade, but maybe prefer the Pittman one because he's going to score more.
Same, I agree with
The
that.
the other trade, you get that Ridley bonus, so that's pretty intriguing too.
Ridley might be done this year.
Yeah, it's possible, but I'm just saying it's like a bonus,
And, not for nothing, like the Falcons are playing better without him. They smashed the Jets without him, and then they smashed the Saints. And normally the Saints have been owning the Falcons.
Well, they didn't smash him. They were smashing him. They almost lost the game.
I mean, I think the game was further apart than the stat sheet, than the scoreboard.
Well, they were winning all game, and they, typical Atlanta fashion, they almost blew another lead. But
I hate the Falcons. I hate the Falcons.
and what are the Saints going to do? Are they going to
I
go
hate
with
the
Hill?
Saints,
Is it going to
too.
be kind of a split still with Simeon and Hill? I don't know. I guess they'll continue with the split for another week, probably. Right?
I mean, to me, the fact that the reports were, well, Taysom Hill is going to get a lot of play today behind Trevor Siemian. Taysom Hill is still bothered by that head injury.
Yeah,
Once Taysom Hill's healthy, he's going to get that job, and he should get that job.
he should. Yeah, he makes him much more explosive.
I was watching one of the feeds yesterday. I think it was like on Red Zone. I forgot who the announcers were. I don't know if that was a Troy Aikman, the game of the week. Might have been. But they were saying how, Trevor Siemian, he realized who he is and what kind. And they were describing him like, just call the son of SOB a game manager. You want to, because that's what you're describing.
Yeah. 25 of 41, 249, 6.1 yards per throw, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So he played well yesterday.
Whenever an announcer and an analyst describes a quarterback, well, when everything's good around him, he's not going to lose you the game. That's a game manager. That's just you. Just call him a game manager.
Yeah, we know what Trevor Siemian is. We've seen enough of him at this point.
It's
not like he's like this ultra talented guy that's going to come out of the woodworks. He's like a Colt McCoy type.
I love Colt.
He's a good backup to have. Colt
When
McCoy.
people talk about the best backups in the league, look
the
what
Giants
Colt
had him
McCoy-
last year.
Look
He
what
wasn't that great.
Colt went in, big game in Seattle and won. Colt wins a big game. For one game, I would take Colt McCoy over anybody. One game,
Really?
one
game
as a
over
backup
anybody?
quarterback.
As a backup, okay. I think he meant anybody.
I'll
else.
take
All right.
Colt McCoy for what he's done in the past 2 seasons and those 2 wins over the 49ers and over Seattle last year with the Giants and that roster.
How about Josh McCown if he comes back? Would you take him over Colt McCoy?
No, Josh McCown.
2 years ago, he played in that playoff game. Remember against
Oh,
Seattle?
yeah. No,
He
Colt
almost won that
McCoy's legit. I like Colt McCoy.
He's smart. He dinks and dunks down the field. They literally were like, spreading him out, throwing like 4-yard curl routes and screens the whole game. It's basically all. And he hit that one pass to Kirk, but that was really it.
Postman, I don't know if this is a question or not, but he's saying PPR, here's the roster: Brady, Burrow, A. Brown, I'm assuming that's AJ, Cooper Kupp, Higgins, Zeke, JT, Kelsey, Tony, Marvin Jones, Julio Jones. Oh, so this is the guy who needs to drop somebody.
Oh.
Okay,
that roster sounds pretty stacked. Do you need to keep 2 quarterbacks? Who's his quarterback?
Brady
Burrow
and
who?
Burrow. Jeez.
I mean, are you ever really going to start Burrow the rest of the year?
Burrow,
I guess.
drop your quarterback. Drop Burrow.
Unless it's a super flex league.
No, it's not Superflex. Drop Burrow.
Yeah, because how many teams in the league? 8, 10, 12?
Probably 12. Drop Burrow. I know it's
Yeah.
crazy, but you have Brady. You're never going to start Joe Burrow again. You're just giving yourself a headache.
Yeah. It's good to have the depth. All your team sounds pretty stacked. Zeke, JT, Brady. It's pretty nice.
MSP with the trade question. He traded away Deontay Johnson, Jamison Crowder, and Khalil Herbert for Adrian Peterson and CD Lamb. Did I get fleeced? No, I think you did the fleecing, getting CD Lamb and Adrian Peterson, who already scored.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
He traded away Deontay Crowder and Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert's done. Now that
Yeah.
Montgomery's back, he's going to be done.
Montgomery's back tonight. Yep.
Jamison Crowder, okay. And Deontay's the best piece in that on that side.
Yeah.
You're getting CD Lamb on a high-volume Dallas passing attack. And Adrian Peterson, who already scored. He's the goal line guy in Tennessee, and he scored already. Yeah, you did. I think you did the fleecing, dude.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, Deontay and CD could be pretty close the rest of the year. Don't you think?
As a Cowboys fan, I mean, I'd rather have Dak Prescott throwing me the football. I know he
Yeah,
sucked yesterday.
It's a much better situation for sure. But Ben loves throwing to Deontay. He's more of a PPR guy. Lamb's going to get you the touchdowns and stuff. But the Cowboys have kind of been a little weird of late. Either they're running the ball, and then this past week it's been a little strange.
He's saying the running backs after the trade: Eckler, Chubb, Carter, Javonte, AP, and Pollard. Yeah, I would do that deal. Khalil Herbert's he's just a guy at this point. His receivers after the trade: Lamb, McLaurin, Galladay, Bateman. Yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see a 50-50 split. I think it would be in favor of Montgomery.
Maybe
going
tonight
forward.
we see a 50-50 split, but once Monty's good.
Forward. Yeah. I mean, it's tough to go away from Herbert. He's definitely going to still have a role because he's looked good. And Williams is banged up, but he's back on the IR. Tariq Cohen's nowhere to be found. But, probably be maybe 15 carries for Montgomery, maybe 5-6 for Herbert, something like that.
Yeah, no, I like the deal. I'm always going to, when you ask me a question and it's Lamb or Deontay, and I'm going to always choose the guy with the better quarterback. And right now, I understand that, Ben's been great and he's a Hall of Famer. Dak Prescott's hands down the better quarterback right now.
And Dak struggled this week, but, it could have been a calf injury. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, it was just one of those games. I like Denver to cover. I thought they would cover, but I didn't see them.
It kind of did feel like a weird game. Denver was coming in.
The crowd was all Denver fans. It was just all right. What the hell? That's
Really?
the one thing as a Cowboys fan I've always noticed. People travel. Other teams will travel to go to Dallas. It's a nice place, and the Cowboys fans are I'm from the East Coast. I'm in Jersey. I've been to Washington. I've been to New York. I've been to Philly. I've been to Baltimore. I've been to visiting stadiums as a Cowboys fan. I've been to, and they don't treat Cowboys fans well. I've been to Cowboys games, and they roll out the red carpet for a visiting team.
Mm.
Right. Cowboys fans, I think, need to show up a little bit more for their team at home. Because some home games, it's you can hear a pin drop.
Interesting.
Josh,
a lot of people want to go to Texas right now. Nice free state. People want to get the hell out of a certain state. So go to Texas, go see a Cowboys game. Go hard for your team.
Josh Loyola is asking, what are the chances Deontay goes over 13 points tonight? Oh, in standard, I think you might be a little bit
Yeah. That's tough. You need a touchdown.
The Bears, their secondary, you can throw on that team.
Yeah, they got some good corners, but their pass rush has been banged up the last couple of weeks. Mack is out again. Eddie Jackson, their safety, is out tonight. So I think Hicks might still be banged up. I think he's coming back this week. Robert Quinn's been a little, he had COVID, but he's back. But
Deontay,
Jalen Johnson's a good corner for the Bears.
Deontay has gone over 13 points in PPR every game. His worst game this season has been 14.6. In standard, Deontay has gone over that number twice, 13-2 and 15-2.
It's kind of, there you go. It's kind of tough to stop Deontay. The way they use him, because they use him on so many short routes, just like Kupp yesterday. He wasn't doing anything all game. He's caught a bunch of short routes. I think he finished with 9 catches for 95 yards. So that's kind of like, Dante will maybe 6 for 70, 6 for 70, 80, 90, something like that.
But yeah, that's I think there's a shot he needs to score if it's going to happen, or he needs to go over 100, and he's only gone over 100 once, came in the 90s twice.
Yeah, that's going to be tough in standard. I'm going against Claypool tonight. I'm only up 11, so that's going to be tough too.
Yeah, and I mean, Claypool's been pretty good too.
Yeah, he's always a threat to catch a touchdown. He gets featured on those bombs a lot, so he's always can blow up.
Let's see, fantasy football leaders. Let's see what happened. Why can't I see? Yesterday was week 9, right?
Right. Yeah.
I guess it's not updated. I don't know how because I feel like I looked at this earlier and it was correct.
I think Elijah Moore was the number 1 fantasy receiver this week.
Huh. Yeah, this is weird. I can't find my fantasy leaders for this week. And I had it this morning.
Glitch in the system.
What? That's a little bit annoying right now. I want to see some of the studs and duds from this week because we're good with questions, and I want to take a look at some of the fantasy studs and duds, and I can't find it.
Well, like I said, Elijah Moore had a good game. I think he was the number 1 guy. Kupp had another good game, 9 for 95. You'll take that all day long. It was basically 20 points. George Kittle had a good game at tight end, over 100 yards. He was probably the number 1 tight end. Kelsey had a nice game. Let's see. Devontae Booker had a nice game. He's been solid. I wonder if they're going to give him a role even when Barkley comes back. Probably not. I mean, maybe he'll get a little bit, but
I mean,
Donovan Peoples-Jones catches a touchdown. We talked about him.
I love Donovan Peoples-Jones. I think he's going to be very quickly. He could potentially be a league winner. Maybe I'll eat my words, but his past 3 games. Let's talk about DPJ. Because I think DPJ is what they wanted OBJ to be in Cleveland, and it's just not happening. It never happened, and that's just football sometimes. But Donovan Peoples-Jones, the past 3 games, puts up 12 in week 5, 26 in week 6, and then 16 last week. He has 3 touchdowns in his past 2 games. Targets in his past 3 games, 6-5, and only 3 yesterday. But yeah, I mean, he has a nose for the end zone.
Yeah, he's a good receiver. He's kind of like what people wanted Nico Collins to be. Another Michigan receiver, but he's in his 2nd year now. And Baker definitely likes him. So, OBJ's gone. And, he's going to be featured there now.
Even going back to last year, I think he was a rookie. He had 3 games in the double digits in PPR points.
Right.
Again, not a lot of volume. Maybe that changes now, but I'm kind of in on Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Another dud, DJ Moore again, but 3 catches for 35 yards. Darnold is falling apart. But what are they going to do? I mean, can they go to PJ Walker? I mean, he's even worse, I think. Right? The hell are they going to do, man? The Panthers are in deep. I mean, the Patriots defense, they have a knack for swallowing.
I mean, the Patriots defense, hey, it's Sam Darnold. We remember you.
Right.
Remember we made you see ghosts?
But you saw that Robbie Darnold exchange on the sideline. It's not going good over there right now.
When are they going to make them? And is it Darnold's fault or Robbie's fault? I mean, Robbie's got to catch the damn ball.
I think it's a little bit of both. Robbie's kind of a deep guy, but Darnold is telling you, man, he's flawed. He's got a lot of flaws in his mechanics, and he's really never corrected them. He's kind of been the same guy. He kind of throws like flat-footed, and I don't know. He's just always been a turnover machine.
You were right.
Ever since going back
right
to
on
USC.
Darnold, man.
Yeah, man, I saw it. I didn't like him, and it looked good at the beginning of the year. I thought that he would be much better than this, at least the past couple of weeks. It looked like Brady was using him the right way, but I think his confidence is really getting bad now. I think that loss to the Giants in the Meadowlands really ruined him.
Oh, I think losing Christian McCaffrey ruined him, and we're just starting to see
that ruined him too. Yeah, but you can't just have a handcuff like that. Just dump it off to McCaffrey. You got to make other plays.
Well, that's when you have Christian McCaffrey. That's what you do.
Yeah.
So fantasy leaders, obviously James Conner, 34 points, Jonathan Taylor. And I really I didn't make that mistake last week in my my FFPC league where I sat Connor. I started Connor and I had Swift on him.
Yeah.
Hey, that team is dangerous with Connor, Jonathan Taylor, Ezekiel Elliott, and DeAndre Swift going down the stretch. They all got their buys already, except maybe in Jamar Chase, Dak.
See, FFPC is good for that too because you could start 4 running backs now.
Yep.
That's why it's great. I mean, you can't do that in NFC. You can only start 3.
That's
why it's good. It's good to have running back depth. I mean, it's good to have running back depth in general, but in that league, it's awesome because you can start 4 running backs.
I thought I was going to be hurting without Antonio Brown, but then Christian Kirk out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, you killed it with Swift. Obviously, I got a ton of Swift.
I got Jamar Chase in that one.
But Connor, I mean, you were getting him 12th round, 13th round, something like that. And that was, especially with Edmonds out now. Just got to hope he stays healthy. He should be killing it. And then, Benjamin, I guess, is a pickup this week, right?
Yeah, he should be.
I think he scored and he had 40 yards. Probably take that Edmonds role a little bit. So
Mickey DeMomo in the chat is saying a little bit late, but thoughts on Jamar Chase having a couple of down games. Chase will get back going. He was off to such a tremendous start, unprecedented start to his rookie year. It's only, he had a couple of down games. I'm not worried about Jamar Chase. Obviously Joe Burrow had a couple of down games, but what's a down game? He's given you 10 points a week. Yes, he's not giving you. I know you're spoiled, and I'm spoiled as a Jamar Chase fantasy manager in almost every league because I was so high on him. He's pretty much given us a lot of 20-point games. But back-to-back games with 10 and 13 points respectively. I could see if he was giving you 5, I'd be pissed. But 10, he ain't gonna lose you the week.
Yeah, he had 13. He had 13 targets again.
Yeah.
Higgins is back now, so that kind of offsets a little bit. Higgins
still had 13 targets. He had
6 for 7. Yeah, and he was open on that bomb. That cornerback made a great play. He beat him and he recovered. He swatted the ball down. You can't be worried about Jamar Chase. How about Joe Mixon though, man? Freaking killing it. Over 100 yards again, total 2 touchdowns. He's having a big year.
Yeah, and Mixon. I'm a big Joe Mixon guy. So
yeah, he's always been great. I mean, he was talented coming in. He suffered with some crappy offenses. Didn't really get a featured role in the beginning, but now he's the guy. And with Burrow, he's going to be solid.
Listen, the Bengals are going to be challenged down the stretch, throwing the football as my Pomeranian's crying because I locked him out of my office. So that's the howling. I'm not, they're going to be challenged, Joe Burrow and that passing attack. In terms of the teams they're playing and the opponent rank against fantasy receivers, Vegas 3, Pittsburgh 23, Chargers 2, 49ers 11, Denver 10, Baltimore 9, KC 8. So they're your, games going down to week 17. They got the bye week this week, so maybe they start getting it going after the bye again.
Yeah, their defense is concerning, but again, that's good for Burrow and the offense. They're going to have to throw.
I think the Bengals are about a year away. Nobody expected this year. I expected the Bengals in 2022 to do what they're doing this year, so I think they're a year ahead.
Yeah.
MSP Sports Hall is back. Who does he add after his trade? Hardman, Hines, Sony Michel, Elijah Moore, Dan Arnold. Depends on what you need.
Yeah, Hines, it wasn't really doing too much. This was kind of a good matchup for him. He blew out, but Elijah Moore's been coming on. I mean, if you need a receiver, you go Moore. If you need a running back, you probably go with Hines. But Moore's a little intriguing because he's been really getting hot the past couple of weeks.
Now, Darrell Henderson did bang his ankle up. Monitor him because if he goes down again, and he shouldn't be, I think he ended up back in the game. Obviously, Sony Michel would be the play there. But, if you need a tight end, Dan Arnold had, back-to-back games at 6+ targets. Elijah Moore. They got Corey Davis coming back, maybe. But, I don't know. I guess I would go with, is Hardman the play? Because Hardman is, no?
I don't want Hardman. Hardman hasn't done, man. Hardman's not doing anything, man.
McCole Hardon.
He gets a lot of targets. I mean, a lot of people have had a hard on for that guy. Hopefully, it's getting kind of soft at this point.
Big on Nicole. I was huge on him coming out, actually.
I mean, that's kind of what I think the Chiefs have, a lot of those speedy guys. And, just looking at the game yesterday, I said to myself, it'd be nice if they had like a 6'3", 6'4" receiver. Obviously, they got Gordon, but he's way past what he was. But it'd be nice if they had a big receiver, like young, like a big time pick that they could utilize for Mahomes. I think that'd be huge for him.
Like, all we're seeing are reports about, well, this team doesn't want Odell, that team doesn't want Odell. Like Kansas City, move on from Josh Gordon. Go get if you can afford Odell. I'm sure he'll take minimum at this point. If he's smart, he would take like if Odell Beckham was smart, do what Antonio Brown did. Take a little bit less, rejuvenate your career, go play with Kansas City.
Yeah,
take less.
Where do you think
Antonio
he's
took less to play with Tom.
Where do you think he's going to end up?
He was smart, Kansas City for less.
Yeah. By the way, Antonio Brown's still in a boot, so he may not be back this
maybe
week.
he goes with Tom.
Come on now. That'd be insane.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Mike Evans, Odell Beckham Jr., Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette? Like, can you imagine?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're going to see that, but I think they have enough.
I don't think we're going to see it either, but can you imagine? Like, it would just be silly.
Yeah, I mean, the situation makes sense with the Packers, but I don't know if the Packers make that type of move.
If they want to keep Aaron Rodgers long term, they make that move.
It just doesn't seem like a Packers type move,
No, it doesn't, but they should.
Yeah, I mean, he's an upgrade over any other receiver they have there now. So
even Devontae?
No. Obviously, besides Devontae is
like
basically probably the best receiver in the league.
Who could benefit from, the Saints? But if you're Odell, like, I'm going to go from Baker to Trevor or Taysom. No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he said he wants to go with a winning team. So.
I think he wanted to go to the Saints when Jameis was still up, and that's not even that much of an improvement.
That wouldn't have been a good fit for him either, though, I don't think.
Honestly, New England. And you probably heard me on this show millions of times. I want Odell in New England.
Yeah.
Imagine Odell who can actually get open with the accuracy of Mac Jones. Like, that would be stupid, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they could put him in the slot, move him around. I'm sure the Patriots would know how to utilize him.
Of course. Kelsey is a week 12 bye for this question. So if you want like get ahead on tight ends for your bye, then I like Dan Arnold a lot. He's gonna get targets.
Yeah, Dan Arnold's getting a lot of targets for sure.
You don't need a receiver. McLaurin, Lamb, Galladay, like maybe.
Elijah
But still,
Moore,
Hardman's not doing you nothing.
I would say the most consistent option going forward probably would be Moore, because Hines is still going to play behind Taylor. He's going to be good one week, bad another week. Moore, he could be the lead.
And they have AB on IR.
Stretch.
And they have AB on IR. Honestly, I'd pick up Arnold and protect your tight end position, because it's only a matter of time before. Because I'm already it's only a matter of time before everybody else sees the target share Dan Arnold's getting. And Trevor Lawrence supposed to be fine this week coming off the ankle. Dan Arnold, back-to-back games over 10 PPR points, back-to-back games with 7+ targets, including 10 last week, and his upcoming matchup, Indy, 27th against tight ends, San Francisco, 8. In week 12, when you have your Kelsey bye, Atlanta, you can shred them. The Rams, you can shred them. Dan Arnold in the fantasy playoffs, Houston and the Jets, 29th and 24th, respectively. So, just saying.
Yeah. All right. I think we got to... It's getting close here. We're almost past 8 o'clock.
Yeah, guys, we are going to wrap up right now.
Who do you like tonight?
Who do I like tonight? The Pittsburgh Steelers take care of business at home.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think the pass rush for the Steelers is going to present a problem for that Bears offensive line. We saw it a couple weeks ago with the Bucs. He had a tough time. Maybe Fields escapes, but I think it's going to be an issue. It's tough watching the Pittsburgh offense and Ben Roethlisberger, but I think their defense will win them this game. And probably, I think the spread's on the money, but I think I would take the Steelers with the spread.
All right, guys, we are going to wrap up. I will be back tomorrow with the waiver wire edition for Week 12. But until then, good luck in the rest of your Week 9 matchups or bets that you have going on tonight. Hopefully, betting-wise, you had a better weekend than me. Till tomorrow, we'll see you later.
Your favorite things feel made for you. Your education should too. University of Maryland Global Campus, formerly University of Maryland University College, was made to serve the military and working adults like you. Today, we continue that tradition by offering frequent start dates so you can get started with convenient online learning that fits your schedule. By recognizing your accomplishments with credits you can earn for what you know. By providing no-cost online resources replacing most textbooks because a college education can fit your budget too. And with no SAT or GRE required for most programs. University of Maryland Global Campus, made for you. Last year, we awarded more than $15 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults just like you. Discover how we can make your education and your goals for the future a reality. Visit us at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
OMG. Your BFF's birthday is here and you don't know what to get her? No worries. 1-800-Flowers.com has you covered. 1-800-Flowers is the ultimate birthday gifting destination. For those who know, it's not about giving a gift. It's about giving the gift. Make every birthday brighter with exclusive offers and great values on gorgeous bouquets and arrangements. To order today, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/tune in. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/tune in.